Sonic Movie 3 is literally right around the corner, and the hype built up around it was amazing. But what about the series that came before? The infamous Knuckles series. Yeah, a lot of people hated this when it first released, and I didn't like it either, especially after binging all 6 episodes and recording a rant about it, which I'm probably never going to release. But come months later, and after watching the Knuckles series a couple of times, especially for this rewrite, it's fine. It's not great, but it's not the worst either. But I say it's fine if you don't look too deep into it and you just accept it for what it is. However, if you do look too deep into it, you start to realize that the Knuckles series has a poorly structured and written story. The way I would describe the story is that it has a promising beginning, a meandering middle, and an unsatisfying and unearned end. When the Knuckles series was first announced, I wasn't really too excited at first because we didn't really have anything to go off of until we had the synopsis that Wade was going to be trained by Knuckles. I thought it was going to be some dumb episodic series with no continuity. But when the trailer came out and it seemed to have an actual storyline, I was excited. But then early reviews came out where they said that Knuckles barely had any screen time compared to Wade. I got worried until I watched the series. I thought they were exaggerating, but those reviews were mostly accurate. Now, a reason that most people did not like the Knuckles series is because it didn't feature characters like the Chaotix or Rouge. But I'm honestly glad it didn't go that route. I think it's smart to start off small with a series like this. A simple, grounded series with a storyline. So what do we end up getting? Episode 1 kicks off the story with Knuckles being told that he needs to help Wade win a bowling tournament. And I'm going to say that right now, this just feels forced and lazy. No agency on Knuckles' part whatsoever. Episode 2 is about Knuckles getting kidnapped by 2 rogue gun agents who are selling him off to the buyer, and Wade, who is now Knuckles' protege, goes to rescue him. Episode 3 was a meandering middle episode where we get introduced to Wade's family, who suck by the way, and their crazy family drama. In episode 4, Wade gets kidnapped and Knuckles just does nothing. He says that Wade has to save himself, despite not training him, mind you. And at the end, he tells Wade that he's ready. What are you talking about? Nothing happened. In episode 5, Wade gets reunited with his father who abandoned him years ago. But he betrays him once again despite showing genuine care for his son. Like it's some kind of unsuspecting twist. Episode 6 picks up where we left off, where Wade basically tricks Knuckles, but turns out Knuckles was never in danger. Fight scene, bowling, Knuckles, bowling, Knuckles, fight scene, bowling. Yeah, I'm not joking, those are the story beats in this episode. The final battle has Wade give this speech to Knuckles, and it just feels unearned. We also get left with a lazy Sonic Movie 3 reference, and a abrupt ending. And that's the show. Now, this rewrite aims to make a cohesive story while also giving Knuckles something to do. I also want to note that I removed 2 episodes for the sake of that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention product placements and licensed music. It's no wonder they had a low budget. Even with the elements of the original show, I think it could have had a good story. So, how would I rewrite the Knuckles series? Let's start with episode 1, The Warrior. Now, everyone can agree that the first episode was the best one. This is also the only episode that Jeff Fowler directed, and you can tell by how the game elements were integrated. It does a fairly good job at setting up and kickstarting the story. I will explain some of my gripes along the way, so bear with me. The episode starts like the original with Knuckles training in an obstacle course that he made himself, ending with him clearing it. A detail I want to add is that the Master Emerald is at the goal for Knuckles to obtain, that he placed himself. I would also remove the recap of the events from Sonic 2 because they reference it enough in this series alone. Knuckles sees contractors in the distance approaching the Wachowski household and assumes that they're invading. But of course they were fixing a giant hole in the house that Knuckles caused, which is hilarious to me. Everything stays the same up until when Sonic is asked to talk to Knuckles. Now, Sonic's dialogue sounds pretty good at first, showing his growth from the previous films. But when Maddie asks Sonic when did he get so wise, Sonic responds with, "I've read a lot of cereal boxes." Like, I didn't even laugh at that line, I was just confused. Like, why have this sincere moment be undercut by a cheap joke about life lessons from cereal boxes? Now the scene when Sonic talks to Knuckles on the roof. It's a pretty good scene on a surface level, but hearing what Sonic said made me die on the inside. Like, in a bad way. How he talks so highly about Green Hills being the best place on Earth and being their new home as if they can never go back to South Island. Like, I like the idea of Sonic helping Knuckles understand Earth better, but this scene felt like they're telling us that the film franchise would only take place on Earth and not in any other worlds. I know people bring this up to death, but it pains me to see that Sonic's growth boils down to just being a hero and waiting for that call to adventure like it's a job. Sure, Sonic likes to relax after an adventure, but as soon as he's ready, he's usually back at it again. So in this rewrite, Knuckles actually gets annoyed at Sonic talking highly of green hills and Earth, and he brings up a point that Sonic is a hedgehog with superhuman speed and chaos powers, and yet he stays at home like a lazy bum. Sonic explains that he likes to relax after an adventure, and Knuckles should too. Think of it as a good rest to charge you up for a new adventure. So while you're at it, make yourself at home, he says. Knuckles meditates and takes Sonic's advice quite literally, making a throne out of random stuff, building a small arena in the living room. Maddie was of course furious with Knuckles and grounds him. Knuckles didn't know what that meant until Sonic and Tails explained it to him. That was really good. Knuckles gets defensive and says to Maddie that she will regret the day she... Sonic warns Knuckles not to make Maddie angry, so he humbly accepts his grounding, with honor. But on one condition. He's taking the Master Emerald with him as its guardian. Now we cut away from Knuckles and get introduced to Wade Whipple. The scene starts with Wade giving himself a pep talk. He gets called a loser by a Girl Scout named Susie. Then he gets encouragement from his best friend, Jack Sinclair, who is a bounty hunter. Judging by Wade's apology to Susie's dad, Jack is the type of guy who isn't afraid to stand up for himself, and Wade would stay quiet. Wade goes for the bull and knocks all the pins, except one. Wade apologizes to Jack and promises that he'll up his game by the Tournament of Champions. Once they get to Reno, he will be a warrior? Yeah, a warrior. Warriors don't get mentally and emotionally decimated by young children. Wade makes excuses, but Jack insists that to win in Reno, my team needs the strongest of warriors. And you, Wade Whipple, are not one of them. Wait, what are you saying? You're off the team. But you asked me to join your team. I thought you were a reliable asset, but I guess the years weren't kind to you, were they? Yeah, come on, tell me you're joking. Who are you gonna replace me with? Little Susie. What? She's 8 years old! She's a fearless, stone-cold killer on the lanes. Plus, her parents are loaded and they're renting a stretch hummer so we can ride to the tourney in style. Wade gets desperate, suggesting that he could go as an alternate, but Jack rejects it and demands him to give him the shirt, which he does. Wade pleads to Jack once more, reminding him how much this tourney means to him. Jack doesn't answer. He just gives him his business card and tells Wade to call him if he ever needs a bounty hunter. Jack on the card admits that he lied about the stretch hummer and just didn't want Wade there. You're the worst high school friend ever, Jack Sinclair! We cut back to Knuckles laying in the attic, bored. Hey buddy, how's it going? Leave me be, Hedgehog. I took your advice, and now I lay banished on the floor of shame, with nothing to do but plot my revenge. Against you. Whoa, lighten up, big guy. Being grounded isn't that bad. I lived in a cave for 7 years. You can survive a few days in the attic. Sonic lays out all the options that Knuckles has, like comic books, listening to music, playing VR games, and making music videos. You see what I mean? Use this time to relax. A good charge will do you good before another adventure begins. Okay, good talk. See you, Knux. Knuckles at least tries to play the VR game, but he takes off the helmet after 10 seconds. What a deception of perception that thing is. The Hedgehog could not possibly understand. Lost on what to do, Knuckles calls upon the Echidna Elders, seeking guidance in his hour of need. Knuckles waits for a sign, but there wasn't one. Knuckles gives up with his back turned. Then, he heard a voice. Fruit smoothies? What kind of nonsense is this? Knuckles sharply turns around thinking it's an assassin. But the figure in front of him reveals himself to be Chief Pachacamac. Pachacamac opens his arms for a hug, only for him to fall through the floor. Alright, sorry about that. Still getting used to this spirit guide thing. I want to clarify that this Pachacamac is not the same Pachacamac from the past. You know, the one who shot Longclaw in movie 1. This Pachacamac is a figment of Knuckles' imagination, like in Ratatouille. He basically tells him what he wants to hear. Knuckles is thankful for the Chief's presence. He explains that he's completed his quest and found the Master Emerald and is guarding it as we speak. But with his work complete, what becomes of him? Pachacamac explains to Knuckles that while his quest may be complete, another one is just beginning. You are the last of the Echidnas, and so, the legacy of our people is in your hands. Pachacamac wants Knuckles to train an apprentice in the ways of the Echidna, Teach them their customs, show them their traditions, and soon their tribe will grow once again. But Knuckles asks where he could find such a student. Patrick Mac points out the window. The birds? No. Look closer. Knuckles sees a town of green hills with people down there. Those humans? They're no great warriors. They're a bunch of undisciplined weaklings. Need I remind you of how you were when we first met? They may not seem like much, but some of them are special. In here. Knuckles doesn't seem to see Patrick Mac's views, but doesn't disagree. Patrick Mac floats away, but not without telling Knuckles to find a student and train them as a warrior. The fate of the echidnas is in his... Stupid window. How does this ghost not even work? There we go! Our fate is in your hands! I will not let you down. We cut to Wade sitting on his sofa in his home gym. He seems to be on the phone about to call someone. Come on, I'm a grown man, not a baby. He looks at his mirror, pepping himself up. Alright, you baby man. Time to get ripped! Wade goes under his weights to lift them. You are strong enough! But the weight was too heavy and the bar falls on his chest.
No, I'm weak! Oh, I'm gonna die today! Oh, help me! Help! Help!
Knuckles is already going around offering his training to random people, but they declined. Then he hears a call for help. Wade is still struggling trying to lift the bar. What are you doing? Wade catches his breath and thanks Knuckles for the help. He explains that he was just getting himself into shape. Wait, how did you get in here? A true warrior can conquer any stronghold. Not even the strongest barrier can contain my might. You came in through the window, didn't you? It was already open. Wade asks Knuckles what brings him to his humble abode. Knuckles responds that 1. Wade called for help, and 2. He has an urgent need that Wade could help him with. Wade would like to help, but he's in preparation of something big. Knuckles asks what is he preparing for? The Tournament of Champions in Reno, Nevada. It was his destiny until he lost his spot on the team to a trash-talking 8-year-old named Susie. Knuckles was briefly off-put by Wade's story, but Wade's goals stood out to him. Tournament of Champions? I cannot simply let this opportunity pass. There is much glory to be found in such a contest. Do you not wish to reclaim your honor? Well, yeah, I want to reclaim it bad, but I'm not strong or tough like you. I'm not a warrior. But I am. I can teach you the ways of the echidna, teach you every form of lethal combat, show you the secrets to all of my strength. And I can use that to challenge Susie in trial by bowling combat and earn my spot back on the team. Yes, if you take me on this quest to Reno, I will make you a true warrior, as the great Chief Patrick Mac did for me. Our destiny awaits, Wade Whipple. Do we have an alliance? Wait a minute. Maddie called me and told me that she grounded you. There's no way you're allowed to leave home, right? Oh, please. One cannot ground an echidna warrior, for an echidna warrior has no home. Alright, let's do this! Destiny awaits!
Let's go get him.
The road trip scene would stay mostly like the original. Wade tries to talk to Knuckles, giving him nicknames, but Knuckles rejects all of them. He asks him to tell him about himself, besides being an alien who's super powerful and one that recently saved the world. One of the hobbies that Wade suggests is treasure hunting as a joke. Knuckles bluntly responds saying that treasure hunting was a children's game. Wade then suggests music, and Knuckles is curious about what music is. The rest of the scene plays out like the original with Knuckles kicking the radio. Unbeknownst to the duo, they were being surveyed by a certain government organization. Gun. The two agents, Mason and Willoughby, banish a fellow agent to the Mushroom Planet. Mason remarks to Willoughby how lucky it is that Gun was able to pick up the leftover rings those aliens left behind. This scene tells us that these two agents are going rogue or in association with the Buyer, or Bartholomew, I don't know which fan name to give him. The difference in this scene is that we get a shot of a robotic arm being welded, foreshadowing the Buyer's creation. He gets informed that one of the aliens has left Green Hills. The blue one? No, the red one. Ah, the muscle. Knuckles, is it? Not exactly the speed I was hoping for, but power is power. Now without his little friends, he is vulnerable. It's revealed that the Buyer has been collecting Sonic and Knuckles' quills that they have shed, using them to create power sources which he has named Chaos Drives. They are the key to everything he's building. You can build an evil petting zoo for all I care. As long as you meet our price, we'll bring you the echidna in 24 hours. Careful with your promises, Agent Willoughby. You need more than arrogance. I'll be sending you a couple of my toys to even the odds. Because anyone who goes against Knuckles better be ready for the fight of their lives. We cut back to Wade and Knuckles on the road. Wade asks Knuckles when does the training session start. Knuckles quotes Pachacamac saying, "You cannot train for battle without first knowing your battleground." You want to see my battleground? Get ready to have your mind blown, Knuckles Cage. When you said bowling combat, I didn't think you meant actual bowling. What is this place? This is my battleground. This is not a place for battle. It is a playground for adult idiots. Wade insists that many battles have been won and lost across these lanes, and that bowling is a beautiful and relaxing game. Wade proceeds to demonstrate the game of bowling and gets a strike. Knuckles was impressed by how Wade smashed those pins with no mercy and is starting to understand his interest in bowling. Wade begins to tell Knuckles why he loves bowling so much. His dad, who taught him everything he knows about bowling. So what happened to him? TJ Maxx. Is that the warrior who slayed him? A fearsome name indeed. It's a discount department store. One moment we were in the men's department looking for warm-ups, and next moment he was gone. He abandoned me. He abandoned my family. While that day was hard for him, it would be the day that determined his future career. He found a nice officer that helped him return home. After he graduated, he became a deputy at Green Hills, so he can help others that suffered like him back then. He did eventually regain his love for bowling again, but sometimes when he's in between those lanes, it's like he and his father were together again, playing his favorite game with his dad. So bowling is the thing that makes you feel at home in this world? Yeah, I guess it is. The next scene plays out the same like the original, with Wade teaching Knuckles how to bowl. I wouldn't even remove this gem of a scene. I like that Knuckles actually believes in Wade in this scene. It gives a nice mentorship dynamic. Just then, Mason and Willoughby show up from a ring portal to capture Knuckles and the fight ensues.
Who's the idiot?
Does it matter?
I like the callback to Knuckles' first reveal from Sonic 2.
You think you can take my power? Do I look like I need your power?
And Wade actually did contribute to the fight. Knuckles calls for Wade to do something, but he hasn't even teach him anything yet, so he doesn't know what to do. Just like in the original, Knuckles manages to disarm Mason and gets cocky. He gets outsmarted and captured through a ring portal which led to a cage. And yes, he still has the Master Emerald. The episode ends with Wade acquiring the Chaos-powered gauntlets, getting an incredibly dumb idea. I'm gonna be honest here. Episode 2 is also a solid episode. I wouldn't change much. My gripes with this episode comes from the scene placement. Like, for example, we have the scene where Knuckles and Wade talk at the Burger Shack, and then for some reason we cut back to the gun agents, and then we cut back to Knuckles and Wade at the Burger Shack as if nothing happened. Like, isn't that weird? Anyway, the episode starts off like the original. Wade starts to pep himself up before jumping into action. Usually in situations like this, he would call for backup. But this is Montana, and Tom is out of town, so he is the backup. You've got this.
Bad boys? Are you kidding me?
All he has to do is sneak into the bad guy's lair, try not to get himself killed by their superpowered weapons, and save his new best friend. What could possibly go wrong? Come on, Wade. What would Knuckles do? He'd come up with an awesome rescue plan. The next scene shows Knuckles waking up in the cage. He looks around him, surrounded by darkness. Where have you taken me? A dungeon? A torture chamber? A pit so deep that no one will ever hear my screams? The room lights up, revealing a lobby inside a cabin. Oh, this is quite nice, actually.
Damn right. Always picture myself living in a place like this one day. Now I don't know how to ski, but with a house like this, you bet I could learn.
Now it is at this point where we cue the title sequence. After the title sequence, we cut back to Knuckles, visualizing his escape, and brutally murdering Mason.
Yes!
Willoughby arrives and takes over the shift. I like how this episode is basically Mason's spotlight episode. Kid Cudi's performance is what makes this episode fun to me.
We about to get paid!
Cut back to Wade at a gas station buying stuff for his plan. I would keep this fantasy sequence of Wade's over-the-top rescue plan, because when you see this, you realize how funny it is when you see how the plan actually goes. We cut back to Knuckles visualizing himself brutally murdering Willoughby, and she does not care. We learn that Willoughby has been studying creatures like Knuckles. His abilities, where he's from, it's been her job for a long time. I see. Then you know of my tribe's victory over the vile Dr. Robotnik. Of course. So, if you know how I can destroy someone as dangerous as him, then you know how easily I can destroy someone like you. Is that what you think? That I'm nothing? That I'm no one compared to the great Ivor Robotnik? Well, let me assure you, you're wrong. Because while I know everything about you, I promise you know nothing about me. But when this is all over, you will. Wade returns to the ski resort, about to put his plan into action. But after colliding his fists, a freak accident occurs that causes everything to go wrong.
The fireworks were supposed to be the grand finale!
This catches the attention of the former agents. They recognize Wade as that round little man from the bowling alley. Wade announces that he has come for the echidna. He activates the glove rockets with no control, but it eventually breaks into the cabin by accident. Mason takes it upon himself to deal with Wade. The fight scene plays out like the original, with Mason basically tossing Wade around. I ever told you about my time in the underground fight game? We literally just met! I've spent years doing bare-knuckle cage matches and backyard brawls.
Doesn't sound like your rescue's going very well, does it?
No, it does not.
Mason lifts Wade by his throat. It was Wade's phone. Oh, sorry, let me get that. Answer it? No, don't answer it. Just let it ring, okay? Sorry about that. We're good. Now, where were we? You were telling me some horrifying story about ripping some guy's arm off? Yeah. And that's why I signed up for Gun. So I can get paid to beat up on superpowered freaks like little alien friends. Now, I don't have to fight fair anymore. Neither do I. What the Who are you working with?
He is my protege and my apprentice, a force so strong of body, mind, and heart that your last words will be a plea for a merciful death from the warrior known only as Wade.
Lord. Stay quiet, Tussle back there.
Thought he'd be dead by now.
It's his first day.
What does a moron like you want with the echidna? We're gonna win a bowling tournament. Wade rockets his glove towards the cage. An explosion of red and green lights erupt from the cabin.
What are you doing?
I'm hugging you, as is your celebratory tradition, is it not?
Wade and Knuckles then proceed to escape. Knuckles glides over the mountains with Wade on his back, but only for a short distance.
Drive us.
I can't just drive us. There's no keys. Okay, I can just drive us.
Back at the cabin, Willoughby and Mason stormed out, arguing about what to do. Mason thinks that the deal's off, but Willoughby says that there's no backing out with him. They've been selling weapons to one of the most dangerous criminal organizations in the world, run by a sociopath, and now they're screwing him over on the deal? If they show up empty-handed, he'll kill them. Willoughby spots a gleaming emerald green light in the distance. She goes to see what the light is, and picks up what seems to be a large glowing green shard. That echidna mentioned that emerald has some kind of power. Guess it's shattered. What if we give him these instead? And one shard? No! More of them. You sure that'll satisfy him? It will. We need to get them all. Fast. Before he gets us. Knuckles and Wade stop at a burger shack to eat.
I only eat grapes.
Okay, well that explains your insane and erratic behavior.
So I was thinking about how I rescued you before. On a scale of 1 to warrior, how does Wade fall? No biggie, you can tell me after we eat. Let's have a little victory feast for the boys, huh? What victory? We won nothing tonight. Correct. I was taken prisoner because of your failures in battle. Well, to be fair, you didn't teach me anything yet. We were nearly killed several times. That's also true. And on top of it all, the Master Emerald is now shattered due to your reckless actions. Yeah, that was my fault. The only reason we survived it all
was pure luck. None of these words would describe a victory or a warrior.
Alright, some of the things you just said might have happened, but maybe you're looking at it a different way, Knuckles. My dad taught me to take any win you can and savor it. 9 out of 10 warriors would call that a victory, but you're right. It was my fault that the Master Emerald was broken, and I'm really sorry.
Even a warrior like me makes mistakes. I put my trust in someone who has proven to be untrustworthy.
What did you learn from that?
To be more cautious of who I trust?
That's right. We grow from our failures, not dwell on them. The rescue might not have been pretty, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a
glorious victory.
Now you're getting it. Let's dig in.
Wade Whipple, may I ask you a question?
Go ahead, man.
You wish to be a warrior, yet you hail from Green Hills, a place where there are no warring clans. So, why do you remain there?
I guess Green Hills has always just been home. I mean, there must be some place in the universe that's like that for you, right?
Like I said before, an echidna warrior has no home. Not anymore.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Since the loss of my tribe, I have journeyed across every corner of the galaxy, seen planets and stars I can only dream of, but nowhere I have called home.
Must be tough for you.
Yes. I made a promise to my ancestors to find the Master Emerald and protect it.
Knuckles pulls out one of the remaining emerald shards from his bag.
That shall be my goal until the moment I join my people in the great battleground in the sky. I've learned many things pledging my life to this quest. I've been deceived and betrayed, again, and again, and again, and again.
Wow. Sorry to happen to you.
You know how it feels, don't you? To be betrayed.
Wade thinks back to when his former best friend replaced him, when his father abandoned him. Yeah, I know how that feels.
By your father who abandoned you like common gutter trash.
No, I get what you're saying. Thank you very much, though. Warrior or not, I am strong enough to know that I would never betray a friend.
You are stronger than you think, Wade Whipple.
I don't know about that.
On a scale of 1 to warrior, you are a 3.
Really? I'm gonna put that on my dating profile. Wade Whipple, solid 3. A special report from the Flame Core Zone plays on the radio. Wade didn't think anything of it until he heard, "Authorities have a manhunt out for a guy named Wade Whipple and a red furry bipedal creature." Wade's expression turns to shock and turns his attention at the radio. "Remember this guy? He was the sheriff's deputy who won Hot Pocket eating contest at last year's Springfest? Yeah, that guy. There's a bounty out for the guy and that red one. I got my money on the red guy, so I'd say that Wade is royally screwed. I would not want to be him today. Alright, let's get back to the music." Wade slowly turns to Knuckles. Let's hit the road. Alright, yeah, we're going to jail! I'm sorry, I just can't. We're fugitives. There's a bounty on our heads. We're all munching out here in the middle of nowhere. What are we gonna do? So much for jamming out. The next morning, first light has broken. Wade is sleeping and begins to wake up. Man, what a nightmare. Then he realized that he is in the backseat of the truck. Wait, I thought I was driving. Knuckles? Wade gets out of the truck to look for Knuckles. He finds him standing outside waiting for him.
Hope you had a well rest, Whipple. You're gonna need it.
You drove us here?
You seem to be falling asleep.
Where are we?
I took us somewhere where we can stay safe and secure.
The road is literally over there. How is this secure?
Doesn't matter. There's a manhunt out for us. And for that, you must prepare.
And what about the Tournament of Champions, the Master Emerald?
We will begin our hunt for the pieces and continue on our journey to Reno, Nevada. And we will train along the way.
Okay, I'm up. So when do we start? The episode ends with Knuckles stating,
"Our session for combat training begins now."
The episode begins in the desert where Knuckles and Wade are about to begin training. Knuckles gives Wade the conditions of the session and warns him that this training will require endurance, sacrifice, patience, and discipline. Can you specify the sacrifice?
No. Now then, are you ready?
Yeah? Yes, let's do it.
Very well. Let's start with the basics.
After the title sequence, a montage of Knuckles training Wade begins, teaching him all forms of lethal combat, pushing through and enduring any struggle, taking short breaks in between, of course. Wade, of course, struggles at first, but he is slowly improving. They continue their journey on their quest. Whenever Knuckles senses an emerald shard nearby, he stops everything and goes to find it. According to his senses, the shards thankfully didn't scatter far, and they broke in large chunks, so they're easy to find. However, all the while, Mason and Willoughby are also looking for the shards too. Somewhere out of town, they managed to acquire some more.
Another one down. Alright, let's roll.
Willow? Mason sees Willoughby holding one of the emerald shards, inspecting it closely like she's in a trance. Yo! Willoughby turns to Mason. Let's go. The duo continue their search, but they suddenly get kidnapped by two men in a black van. We cut back to Wade and Knuckles, still in the outskirts of civilization at sunset.
We must find safe harbor to rest.
Knuckles and Wade decided to spend the night in a local motel. Wade rests on one of the beds, exhausted from the day of training.
I am impressed how we were able to find safe harbor that easily.
Did you have to bow to the front desk lady though?
Always pay respects to those who give you safe harbor in your time of need.
Quick question, how are you able to find the emerald shards?
I have a connection with the Master Emerald, therefore I can sense its energy.
Okay, good to know. Wade checks his phone and notices he has several missed calls. Oh, sorry Knuckles, I gotta make a call.
Wade, what does that do in this room?
I don't know, just relax, watch TV, take a nice shower. Knuckles sits on his bed and watches the TV, which just so happens to be playing Pretty Woman. Outside, Wade calls the numbers he's been missing calls from.
Hello?
Hey, Mom.
Wade, my baby, it's been so long. I've been trying to call you.
Yeah, is there something you wanted to talk to me about?
Well, you know, it's that day of the week again.
Friday?
Yes, you know what it is. Your sister has come home.
Wait, what? Who's that, Mom?
Mom, please don't.
It's your brother. Oh, really? Let me talk to him.
Sup, Wade?
Sup, Wanda?
I gotta say, if you're calling because he lost your squad car again, and you want to borrow Mom's Volvo, don't bother. Volvo's too much a car to stay invisible anyways. Wanda, maybe you should stick to your little scooter. You look less suspicious. Wanda!
Still working for the FBI? Sounds suspicious to me. Guess you're not doing a good job. Well, at least it's better than being a local cop. Wanda, let me talk to your brother. You always take his side.
Mom, why is she even there?
She's here for Shabbat dinner, Wade. Wade flashes back over the last few decades of every Whipple family Shabbat dinner. When Wanda would bully her little brother, smearing food on his face, strangling him with a telephone wire, scaring him with a goat, and each time, Wendy would just watch, seemingly without care, or rectify a cooking disaster. It was pure torture. Wade comes back to reality. Oh.
Wade?
Yeah, I'm still here. I was calling to see if you're coming, dear. Sorry, Mom. I'm really busy with work right now.
Work or crime?
It's important deputy work you wouldn't understand, Wanda.
Am I on speaker right now?
I would understand, actually. Okay, then what about you, Sherlock? 1, wrong job. 2, if you must know, I'm part of an investigation.
Something about an organization? What about you? Still competing in that bowling tournament?
Well, yeah, I am. I've also been helping someone look for a powerful gem that can grant wishes. Grant wishes? Sounds highly unlikely. Wanda, back off. Mom, he is literally lying through his teeth. I don't know why you always have to side with him.
Oh, wait, no, you two.
I didn't even say anything!
Doesn't matter. You're the one who started it.
The two of you. I swear you act like children. You're both grown adults. We are adults. And one of them acts like an 8-year-old.
Wade!
I'm sorry, Mom, but it's true.
Excuse me? You know what? Just because you're my brother
doesn't mean I won't hesitate to arrest you. Wanda, that's your brother, who's a fugitive. Yeah, you don't know, Mom? I don't know what he did, but there's a bounty on him. You know what? I'll come over and arrest you right now for being such a liar. So help me God.
Don't make me come to that phone!
Whatever, Mom. You can't threaten me because I'm a federal agent. It's my job to make sure criminals are put behind bars, even if they are local police officers. I'm hanging up. Then why did you even call in the first place? Because I wanted to talk to my mom. 2 years, 3 months, and 13 days I've spent alone. This is the closest I get to both of my children coming home, and this is what I get! Mom, no, just go. Leave me here.
Alone. Just like everyone.
Just like that good-for-nothing schmuck. He's not a schmuck. He's my dad. Wendy stays silent, hurt. Even after being abandoned, he still loved him. It was heartbreaking. I'll talk to you later, Mom. Wade hangs up the phone. Wanda begins to walk away. I don't blame him. He's always loved him more anyways. Wendy acknowledges the rift between her and her children, although trying to talk to their children about their feelings was difficult. We cut back to the motel room where Wade is softly crying in his bed. Knuckles come out of the bathroom wearing a towel.
You are right, Wade. Bathing myself was relaxing indeed.
Knuckles sees Wade in his bed.
Wade, are you injured? I thought I heard the quiet sobs of a child.
Wade quickly sits up. Oh hey, I know what you heard because everything is fine. I was just curled up in the fetal position, you know? My mental health has never been better.
Well, you dropped this on your way out.
Oh, I didn't know I even dropped my wallet. Knuckles then pulls up what seems to be a small folded bowling poster from Wade's wallet.
Who is this magnificent and powerful man?
Oh, that guy?
Pistol Pete Whipple. This great bowling warrior shares your family name.
Yeah. It's because he's my dad. Knuckles' eyes widen.
Your father is the champion? You'll be at the tournament? Is this why we are going to Reno? To confront and dethrone your father? This quest only grows more glorious!
What? No, I didn't know that. Are you telling... Start from the beginning, because wait a minute. My estranged father is also going to be at the bowling tournament? Because that is news to me. It definitely didn't have anything to do with my decision-making process in the matter.
I see. So who did you call?
What do you mean?
You needed to make a call?
Oh, yeah. I called my mom. She wanted me to come over for a Shabbat dinner.
Your mother? She invited you for a ceremonial meal and you did not accept? That would have been a great honor.
Yeah, I mean, it's complicated.
You do hold your mother in high regard, don't you?
Of course I do. She raised me, fed me, and put a roof over my head, but after Dad left, I felt that she didn't hold me in high regard as much as she did him.
Your father, who abandoned you, giving not a second thought to his own flesh and blood, discarding his only son like a piece of worthless junk! Sorry, I mean no offense. There was a point in my life when I was alone. No companions or family to fall back on. However, I did learn something integral to my survival. To support myself.
What is that supposed to mean?
I mean, Wade, in order to become a true warrior, you must learn to rescue yourself.
I understand.
So, what else do we do to relax?
Usually I listen to my weight jammers on my Discman, but I left that at home, so guess my phone had to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, streamers get the job done, but the quality isn't as good as it was back then. Yeah, this is my jam. You gotta hear this.
Ah, what does that mean exactly? To have a jam?
It's like, your favorite song.
I don't understand.
Like, you don't have a favorite song?
No.
Wade explains to Knuckles what a jam is. Something that pumps you up. Gives you the courage and bravery to do things that are out of the ordinary.
Is it a form of magic?
It is a bit like magic.
And what about your old mix you made? It has jams?
Oh yeah, Wade Jammers 99, chock full of them. You listen to this mix, I guarantee that you'll be uttering the phrase, "That's my jam." My father used to say it all the time. Every Friday afternoon, my dad and I would drive up to the bowling alley and we'd listen to this mix, and it was our thing until it wasn't, but... But hey, why don't we just relax and get some shut-eye?
I don't feel tired yet.
Why don't you just watch TV until you pass out? That's what I do sometimes.
Wade, I've been watching this film and I don't understand. This young streetwalker with a heart of gold, why do the others treat her with such disdain? Is it so wrong to walk the streets?
Probably because they're ignorant and judgmental. But don't worry, I've seen this many times with my mom. She'll get the last laugh. Well, I'm gonna catch some Z's. We got a big day ahead of us tomorrow. Good night, Nux.
Rest well, Wade Whipple.
Wade puts on a playlist on his phone to fall asleep. He takes one more look at the bowling poster of his father. Miss you, Dad. The next morning, Wade wakes up feeling pretty good about himself. He steps outside and smells the morning air. I think today is going to be a beautiful day. Wade starts to get the feeling that something is missing.
Knuckles, help me!
Wade continues to get dragged by his mysterious kidnapper until they reach the national forest. Wade looks up to face the man approaching him. He revealed himself to be Jack Sinclair. Hello, Wade. Jack? Are you shocked to see me? What? You will be.
Yeah!
Wade suddenly wakes up to loud rock music.
Get up, Wade Whipple. We've been ambushed.
Man, Knuckles? Wade looks around and realizes that he and Knuckles are trapped inside a cage. Let me tell you the first rule of bounty hunting. Know your target like he's your former best friend. In this case, he is. Quick note here, but it would be cool if the cage kind of resembled an animal capsule from the classic games.
Jack, please don't do this to me.
I believe I already have.
Do you even know why there's a price on my head? Do you even care? When did you become so heartless?
The second rule of bounty hunting. Never let things get personal.
You're my best friend. This is very personal.
Jack explains that he is in dire financial straits due to a lawsuit against an unnamed rainforest-themed restaurant franchise.
I told you the robotic birds in that restaurant make the same joke no matter who walks in. They were personal attacks! Okay, whatever!
Turning Wade in will turn his life around. He holds up a bag of the Master Emerald shards he stole from Knuckles. These emerald gems are just a bonus. No, Jack, we need those. For what? You're not using it.
You have no idea what you are toying with.
Ask me if I care. Wade asks Jack how did they get here. They used to be best friends since high school. Jack replies that some friendships aren't meant to last after high school.
Such dishonor! You're like a scorpion being carried by a frog across a river. Wade allows you to ride on his back despite knowing you can't resist the urge to stab him in the back.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Except I'm a scorpion who knows how to swim. An exquisite scorpion with beautiful hair and a way with the ladies.
I disagree, but I do admire your hat.
Thank you. Alright, let's get this show on the road!
Jack.
Do not touch bars.
The Hummer on their way to Reno starts to drive off. Wade tries to get Jack's attention, but to no avail. We gotta get out of here. What are you looking at? Wade sees Knuckles staring at a small camera on the top corner of the cage, surveying them. He leaps up and punches the camera, destroying it. You just can't resist punching things, can you?
Listen, Wade. Time is of the essence.
Yeah, I know that! You need to bust us out of here!
You must bust yourself out.
What?
By learning where a warrior's true strength lies.
Okay, I understand what you're trying to do.
This is the final phase of your training. You will travel to our ancestral lands, the great battleground in the sky.
Fine. How do we do it? Knuckles sits down and begins to demonstrate.
Clear your mind and slip into a deep, meditative state.
Wade closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. Both begin to meditate. I think it's working. I'm ascending. At this moment, Jack notices that the camera is down. Ah, clever one, aren't you? Jack decides to surprise the pair and electrocutes the entire cage. Both Knuckles and Wade fell unconscious. Wade wakes up and finds himself in front of Chief Patrick Mack. Though startled at first, Patrick Mack ensures Wade that he is here to help him. He introduces himself and tells him that he is in a great battleground in the sky, though the battleground varies by person. Wade puts together that Knuckles must have sent him here because this is his next lesson. Hold on. Are you going to teach me something really amazing? I'm not just going to teach it to you, Wade. I'm going to have you experience it through one heck of a nostalgia trip. Patrick Mac uses his magic staff to shoot a rainbow to Wade's mouth. We get Knuckles' POV, who wakes up in a dark void. Knuckles looks down at his hands and notices something different. What? We get a full shot of Knuckles in a 16-bit Sega Genesis style. Did I change form? Wade finds himself in a Knuckles onesie. He turns around and sees a TV with a game console that looks very similar to a Sega Genesis. Wade approaches the console and switches it on. A title screen appears, introducing Knuckles the Echidna in the Flames of Disaster. Wait. Is the lesson a video game? Prepare yourself, Wade, because if you want to know where Knuckles' true strength lies, you must play the game and beat it. You must play as him. This is going to be awesome. To make the gaming experience feel immersive, they got stage performers showing practical effects in the background or near Wade. Jack Sinclair appears playing Longclaw back in the music. The game starts with a prologue cutscene showing Knuckles' origins, how he was trained by his dad and his chief. But then the war started where the Master Emerald was taken by the Owls. Knuckles wanted to join his tribe, but his father told him to stay behind and wait for the true moment where he will honor his tribe. Many people were lost during this war, including his father. To assure the Echidnas won't rise again, Longclaw's people burned down their village. They thought they were all gone, except one. Knuckles managed to escape the villain before any of the Owls noticed him. Now without a home, he doesn't know what to do but rest somewhere safe. Knuckles sat down, curled up. He lost everything. His tribe, his father, and his home. He felt sad. Then he felt alone. And then he fell asleep. Knuckles has a dream about a memory about his father. He tells Knuckles that there will be times when he's alone, but with bravery and courage, he will be able to find a way throughout his path. Knuckles wakes up with determination. His father wouldn't want him to sit and cry. Knuckles vows to find the Master Emerald and return it home. This is where the journey begins. The first zone being Angel Island. Along the way, he found gold rings, some floating around and some hidden inside rocks. Knuckles then discovered an underwater city where he learned to swim, Hydro City. Then he learned to glide above Marble Garden, digging through snow and soil and ice cap. He grew somewhat fond of the mushrooms in Mushroom Hill. Then he finds himself in Sandopolis, where he encountered giant sandworms and ghosts. Finally, he ends up in Lava Reef, where he encounters the Flame Demon. Okay, I'm just gonna say this right now because a lot of people keep getting this mixed up. The Flame Demon is a loose adaptation of Iblis. It's a character that is inspired by Iblis. They're not the same. Anyway, back to the story. Knuckles was nervous, but bravely stands up against the demon. In Wade's perspective, he keeps dying in the game over and over again, until he pauses and then contemplates giving up. But then he remembers that challenges like this requires discipline and patience. He takes a deep breath and continues the game. Knuckles was able to study the Flame Demon's attacks by dodging them. Learning from every mistake, he gets closer to defeating him. Knuckles glides and dodges the projectiles. But the Flame Demon breathes a giant fireball. With no time to dodge, Knuckles takes the blow and falls to the ground. The smoldering Echidna tries to get up, but any ounce of strength he had was drained. He was helpless. Seizing the opportunity, the Flame Demon fires the finishing blow, a lightning bolt to the chest. Wade faced the floor in defeat. Why can't he beat him? A new screen appears showing the defeated Knuckles. Circling around him was a wisp-like orb. The orb glows and morphs into a figure that resembles a female Echidna. The spiritual Echidna reaches her hand to Knuckles, with the word "continue" blinking above the screen. Wade realizes that he is almost at the end. He can't give up now. Upon pressing continue, the female Echidna helps Knuckles rise to face the Flame Demon. Knuckles shouts at the demon to get its attention. To prepare for his full night, Knuckles feels his emotions boiling. His eyes glow a bright red. gathering all the heat in the air. Red lightning flickers around him as he gathers energy. He collides his fists, and they become engulfed in red flames. Knuckles dashes towards the demon at high speed, dodging the projectiles. He jumps up high and lands a damaging punch to the head. Knuckles goes rapid fire when it's down, followed by an uppercut that sends the demon upwards. Knuckles rockets to the air with a screwdriver attack, then dives down towards the flame demon. Wade, after defeating the boss, leaps for victory. Suddenly, the top of the cage breaks open. Emerging from the cage and landing on the pavement were Wade and Knuckles.
How the devil did you get out? I should have reinforced the cage.
With my true strength.
Knuckles begins to approach Jack to take back the Emerald Shards, but Wade stops Knuckles. He challenges him to a duel for his freedom, his honor, the Master Emeralds, and that sweet leather jacket. Jack excitedly accepts the challenge. He jumps on his motorbike, draws his blades, and throws one to Wade. He drives a far distance, preparing for a joust.
Alright, Wade, you can do this. Just trust your true inner strength.
You're gonna die, idiot!
Show some respect. You might learn a thing or two.
You're lucky I didn't do a whole lot more.
He demands that he hands over his jacket, vest, and hat. Jack tried to reason with Wade when he demanded the bag of shards, until Knuckles walks up with a threatening demeanor. Jack hands over the bag to Knuckles. Mine. And the shirt. No. No. It's happening. Please. Sorry. We're friends. We're best friends. Former best friends. As Jack takes off the shirt, he leaves Wade with the third reference rule of bounty hunting.
When faced with a worthy opponent,
You run the hell away! Don't look at me! Don't look at me!
I did it!
Congratulations, Wade Whipple. Your first glorious victory.
I learned from the best. Wade picks up the hat and holds it to Knuckles. A gift of my thanks, treasure hunter. Knuckles accepts the hat and puts it on.
Well suited for a warrior. Your training has proved to have been successful, Wade.
So that means...
you're ready.
The next scene shows Knuckles and Wade on their way to Reno at sunset. Knuckles briefly looks at his emerald shards hanging on the bike handle, determined to restore his destiny. Finally, we cut back to Willoughby and Mason blinded with their hands tied to their backs, being forced into a building by two shady men. Once inside, the former agents were unmasked with no idea of where they are. Then they see the buyer approaching them. Clearly there's been a bit of a misunderstanding here. You seem mad at us, but it's all good because we... Shut up! The buyer holds up a blowtorch, clearly not in the mood. You know what? Forget I said anything. You failed your end of the deal, I see. I don't deal well with failure. The buyer proceeds to slice an eye of the egg drone off. You know, you remind me of myself when I worked for Gun. Though it wasn't called Gun back then. It was a military shadow ops program run by a difficult but brilliant scientist. Wait, so you worked for Robotnik? Indeed I did, until the day he met that little blue alien and lost his mind. And after that, Gunn was tasked to erase all connections with Robotnik, including me. The buyer pulls the collar on his shirt to reveal a big wound around his neck area, revealing that Gunn sent a team to kill him. But luckily for him, it didn't work out so well for them. So I went underground, selling my creations in the black market. And before you know it,
I built an empire. Willoughby finally speaks up. Please, we have something else. A power source that would guarantee you more energy than you needed. And why should I believe that? Because I realize that we have a lot in common. She turns to Mason. You want to know why I betrayed Gunn? Because they betrayed me first. I spent my entire life studying extraterrestrials. Then San Francisco happened, and then I saw a threat unlike anything this world has ever seen. So I joined up for one reason, to protect this planet. My first job was to plan a fake wedding to capture the aliens. But soon I discovered instead of neutralizing them, we let them play house in Montana. Trusting them as they shed their quills with the destructive power of a thermonuclear weapon every single time they go out for a jog. I tried to warn the fools in charge, but they didn't listen. They take me out of the field, shove me behind the desk, wasting my career, sending gift cards and planning fake weddings. So believe me, I want Gunn to suffer as much as you do. And if you give us one more chance... She reaches for her pocket to pull out a bag of the Master Emerald shards. They will. The buyer raises his blowtorch. The former agents shut their eyes, awaiting their deaths. But the buyer cuts the ties to their hands, freeing them. He takes the bag and examines the emerald shards. While I will put these emeralds to good use, I still require the echidna to power my finest creation. But the price has changed. Now, your only reward will be your lives. He motions them to follow him. I told you it was going to be enough. Willoughby doesn't respond. They follow the buyer to a curtain that seems to be hiding his creation. It'd be an honor to be the first to see him. Him? Yes. The buyer pulls the curtain, revealing the robot. The episode ends showing a silhouette of a figure with thin legs, larger lower arms and legs, a head with metal fins, and a horizontal optic sensor that has yet to be lit. Well, we're finally here. The final episode. Reno, baby. Reno. The episode begins with Knuckles and Wade driving down the street, arriving at Reno. This is where it's all gonna go down. The Taj Mahal of 10 pins. The Belle of the Balls, the National Bowling Stadium. Knuckles stared at the exterior in amazement, but then he senses the energy of what he believes to be the final pieces of the Master Emerald. The final pieces must be here. I can feel it.
You're damn right.
Upon entering the casino, Knuckles and Wade were pretty impressed at how fancy this place is. Did you see the sign? Kevin James is headlining here. The Bowl Cup? That means you know it's top notch. Well, well, well. Look who it is. Wade instantly recognized this woman. Wanda? What are you doing here? Surprise! Mom? Wade, my little Hamastashin. Wanda told me you were competing in that bowling tournament, so I thought we could surprise you by supporting you in person. Mom, I'm happy that you're here, but in case you forgot, we're kinda on the run and we need to keep a low profile. Wanda looks around. Doesn't seem like anyone's noticing to me. I think you're good. Oh, and who's this? Wendy looked at Knuckles, thinking he's wearing a costume. Wade introduces Knuckles to his mom. Knuckles bows to Wendy and gives her a compliment. Wade gets a little uncomfortable and tells Knuckles we gotta go. Wendy tells her son that they'll catch up later. Wade agrees. Wanda stays behind. Wait, listen, this is very important. What is it, Wanda? If you see anything suspicious, you come and tell me. Yeah, sure, okay. Look, just be careful, alright? She leaves to get a drink with her mom. Is she your sister? Yeah, unbelievable. Isn't it crazy that we're related? Wade then notices his father, Pistol Pete, entering the casino. Knuckles and Wade admire him from a distance. It's like we could be twins. I mean, he's so... Nope. Can't talk to him. Why not? I mean, look at him. My dad is so cool. He probably forgot all about me anyway. Wade, my father told me to stay behind so I could grow. Maybe he did the same for you. Yeah, but this is different. I don't know why he left. I don't even know what to say to him. Come, Wade Whipple. I have an idea. Why
I don't know.
Knuckles' plan is to feed Wade his lines through his phone using AirPods. Wade approaches Pete and says, Father Whipple. Hello there. So what are we signing today? Bowls, pins, body parts? If you want a signed photo, I'm afraid it'll run extra. It is I, Wade Whipple, your long-abandoned progeny. I'm sorry?
I know what you must be thinking.
That I'm here to slay you and take my rightful place on the throne. But no.
I come here today to make peace.
To repair the paternal bond that you so callously tore apart many decades ago. I see. Are you feeling alright, sir? You don't seem well. Yes. This is simply a result of me growing into a powerful adult man, with many great skills and accomplishments to my name.
Oh, that's quite impressive. Many human women have taken notice of my feats of strength.
Yes, I get that. But why are you talking like that? This is extraordinary. It's like looking at a mirror image of myself. But of course, I am more muscular and mighty, and you are frail and sickly. Excuse me? Wade looks to Knuckles, who is talking to a mascot that slightly resembles him. Are you kidding me? What are you looking at? Is this some kind of joke? No, I'm sorry, it's me, Dad. Peter inspects Wade closer and realizes... Wade? Oh, my boy. It's you. Look how much you've grown. So what brings you all the way up here? Come to see your dad knock down some pins? Oh no, I'm rolling. In a tournament? You? I guess your passion for bowling never wavered after all these years, eh? Well, may the best man win. I'm just kidding. Yeah, but I also came here because I miss you, Dad. I was hoping you'd miss me too. Peter places his hand on Wade's shoulder. Of course I missed you, Wade. I've been missing you every day. It's just so good to see you again. I would love to catch up, but I'm sort of occupied at the moment. Wade looks back and notices a line of people wanting Pete's autograph. Oh, sorry. No, it's fine. Tell you what, we'll catch up on some lost time after we bowl, shall we? Yeah, of course, yes. The father and son laugh together. Wade looks at Knuckles, giving him a thumbs up. Knuckles returns the gesture.
Well done, Wade.
Although, unbeknownst to them, they were being watched by Willoughby, who was blending in with the crowd learning info, communicating with Mason by phone. The guy screwed us. I know, but it's alright. We'll have the last laugh. She pulls out a Master Emerald shard that would be used later. But for now, let's have some revenge, shall we? The next scene is a montage cut in between the bowling tournament and Knuckles' search for the remaining Master Emerald shards. The Warriors and Pistol Pete are neck and neck with their 10-pin streaks. Pete observes Wade when he rolls a strike. His expression is mixed with impressed, but worried. Where do you learn that? I learned from the best, both ending up making the finals. Meanwhile, Knuckles was able to find the pieces in slot machines, claw machines, and the garbage dump. The bar scene plays out like the original, but I would change Pete's answer to Wade's question. Why did you leave? Pete pauses and puts his glass down. I think you're old enough to know the truth. He explained that he and Wendy were in a rocky place in their relationship. She didn't exactly support his career despite it affording their livelihood. That he was spending as much time as he could with his children whenever he was home. Bowling was an escape for him because he loved it, and in the moment he thought he could escape forever. He wanted to take Wade with him, but he felt that Wendy would be a better parent than he was. All these years there was this hole in his heart that could never be filled by bowling, but filled with home, with his son. He realized that too late. Pete pulls out a small pack and gives it to Wade. What's this? Wade opens the pack, and what was inside was all of his Wade Jammer mixes. My mixes! You got them! I got all of them. Every time I play them, I feel like I'm with you again. I just never had the time or courage to write you back. Because I'm a coward. A total schmuck, as your mother said. You're not a schmuck. You're my dad. The father and son share a hug. I love you so much, son. And I'm so sorry. It's okay. I forgive you. Onlooking from the distance, Wendy sees her son and her ex-husband forming a connection. She was hurt and worried. She needs to talk with her son. Pete invites Wade to his suite. He happily accepts and heads to his room to freshen up. After Wade left, a woman dressed in a suit approaches Pete. She introduces herself as Willoughby. Why, hello. Are you here for an autograph? Oh, no. I'd like to discuss something with you about your son. Wade? What about him? An evil grin crosses Willoughby's face. Meanwhile, Wendy was on her way to talk to Wade. Wade and Knuckles were talking about their small victories. At this rate, the Master Emerald will be restored before the tournament ends. Indeed, and I know you will win. Wendy knocks on the door. Wade answers. Wendy brought Wade's old ball. I thought you might like it. Oh, that's so nice, Mom. Oh, good. There's something else. This is hard for me. I saw you with your father. Oh, yeah. I wanted to tell you, but you seem so happy. I didn't want to upset you. Wade, it wasn't easy for me when he left. It wasn't easy for any of us, and I bounced around from place to place, and I took any job that would have me. I think it worked out in the end. I made a home for the family. But what didn't work out was me as a mother. Maybe I was too tired or self-centered to notice how much you and your sister were hurting. Nowadays, I wish it was better. Sometimes I used to say to myself what he did, leaving me, you, your sister. Wasn't that bad? It wasn't his fault. But it was his fault. And it was bad. He hurt me, Wade. He hurt you and your sister. I saw this look in your eyes that you had when you were little. I got worried that he was going to hurt you again. Look, Mom, I know that you and Dad have a complicated relationship, but that's your relationship. Dad and I are still figuring ours out. Wade, no, I get it if you don't want him in your life, but I might want him in mine. You can't take that from me. You're a grown man now, Wade. You make your own choices. Just be careful. Your father's great at convincing people to love him, and that's usually when he decides to leave. Is that how you felt when he left? Wendy stays silent, and she smiles. Good luck out there. She pats her son on the shoulder and walks away, holding back tears. She walked past the hidden Wanda, who heard the conversation. Mom, wait, But Wade decided to say nothing more, and walks back into his room. Wendy was headed for the elevator. Hold the door, please. A man in a suit with headphones held the elevator door. Thank you. What floor, ma'am? Up 5, thanks. The man in the suit briefly looked at Wendy and grinned as the doors closed. Wade arrives at the suite. He thought his dad would be there to greet him, but he wasn't in sight. Dad? Come in, dear boy. Wade finds his father sitting on a bar stool drinking tea. Welcome to my penthouse. Wade is impressed by how humbly decorated the suite is. Pete just sips on his cup of tea, forcing a little smile. Wade admires the view from the balcony. Bowling really has done well for you. Wish I had a place like this. Oh, I do alright. You okay, Dad? Oh, I'm just dandy. Would you care to see the master suite? Yeah. This way. Pete leads Wade to his master suite. Wade continues to chat when Pete's face subtly expresses dread. Listen, Wade,
I am sorry.
Oh yeah, don't worry, we talked about it. It's okay. Pete entered the master suite and stopped walking.
No, son. I'm sorry. For this. As he walks in, Wade finds his mother and sister being held hostage by Mason and Willoughby.
Hello, Whipple. Long time no see.
Sup, Wade?
The former gun agents sport the same exoskeletons from their last encounter, but something's different. In place of Knuckles' quills being their power source, except for the gloves and weapons, were Master Emerald shards. Now Wade couldn't help but feel dread when faced with them. Wade, just listen to what they gotta say. I don't talk like that! I know what's going on! Dad, you gave me up?
Not you. Her.
Then why is Wanda here?
Your dear old sister tried to play hero, so we got her too.
You know, abandoning your family is one thing, but this is on another level.
You mean your family, Gwendolyn?
Oh, my family. My mistake, Peter.
You didn't take me seriously.
All that bowling isn't a real career. And look where I am now.
Yeah, rich and alone. Pete turns to Wanda. So I see you've joined the FBI, Wanda. Good on you, dear daughter. You suck, Dad.
Dad, why?
Here's the thing, son. When I started my career in bowling, I didn't think my name would get this big. But it did. Therefore, I need to protect my reputation and my livelihood. But when I saw you bowl, I realized how dangerously great you are at it. Now, any other monster would force you to withdraw from the tournament. But you are my flesh and blood. So I'm offering you a proposition. To join me in my bowling career. We could spend all the time in the world bowling together. Just like old times. But for now, you're gonna have to give these folks what they want, or I'm afraid I won't be able to stop them from doing whatever they want with your family.
Wade, whatever happens, I just want you to know that I'm sorry. Very good. Now, bring Knuckles back to the suite quietly.
Wade walks down the hallway to his room. You know, I'd take that offer if I were you. You get paid, spend time with your old man, and everything you ever wanted. What I want is my family to be safe. Then make it quick, Whipple! Okay, I'm at the room. Good. Now keep your phone on so we can hear every word that comes out of your mouth. If you try anything, you know what will happen. Wade enters his room.
Hey, buddy.
Wade, you've returned. How goes the fatherly reunion?
So good. Great, actually. In fact, I want to take you upstairs to look at something in the suite. It's a surprise. Knuckles thinks the surprise could be fresh Wade jams, another Julia Roberts classic, or better yet,
a giant fruit bowl of grapes all for me to devour.
But Wade confirms that this is not it. It's just something that he should see for himself.
I shall wear my finest hat that you gifted to me.
Sure. Put on that adorable hat.
Once Knuckles enters the elevator, Wade comes up with an excuse to let him go alone and he'll meet him there. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm totally sure. I'll go grab the stuff. You go to the penthouse. Give me 2 seconds.
Very well. I shall see you soon, my friend.
As the elevator doors close, Wade feels an overwhelming guilt wash over him, knowing that he betrayed his friend, and there is nothing he can do to help.
It's done. Knuckles is headed your way.
As Knuckles goes up in the elevator, he feels a strange energy that's somewhat familiar to him. It's chaos energy, yeah, but it feels off. Something is wrong. He's almost at the penthouse. As soon as you have him, you send my mom and my sister down to me, and please, just don't hurt him. We promise. Mason snickers. Idiot. The two rebels are in position, anticipation rising, eyes glowing bright green, hungry for vengeance. As soon as the doors open, Willoughby fires a barrage of energy bullets, cackling maniacally, ensuring that Knuckles is dead. However, upon searching for him, Knuckles is nowhere to be seen despite the punishment. There is only his hat. Where is he?
Peekaboo.
Knuckles drops from the ceiling and pounds his fist to the ground, sending Mason and Willoughby flying backwards. Knuckles seeing the power source of their equipment confirms his suspicion. He remembers the feeling of that energy. The same energy when Robotnik absorbed the Master Emerald.
You dare abuse the power of the Master Emerald?
Wade smiles with relief after hearing Knuckles' voice. Knuckles collides his fists, charging with chaos energy.
Big mistake. Huge.
The rematch begins. The chaos-charged Knuckles charges towards his enemies, dodging energy bullets and knocking them on their sides. Mason recovers and proceeds to throw down with Knuckles. Willoughby attempts to intervene but receives a roundhouse kick from Knuckles and gets punched, sending her crashing into Pete's wall of gold pins. While fighting Mason, Knuckles notices his strength and durability has grown. This is due to the emerald shard that's powering his exoskeleton. He needs to remove the power source for a better advantage. In the midst of the battle, Wade manages to sneak by and rescue Wendy and Wanda. Wanda reveals that she managed to free herself from the handcuffs by dislocating her thumb, albeit in disturbing results. Knuckles locks Mason's arm mid-punch and hits him repeatedly. He snatches the shard from the exoskeleton's core and sends Mason flying through the dividing wall, leaving him incapacitated. Knuckles dodges an energy bullet fired by Willoughby, who just recovered. My turn. Knuckles dodges and blocks bullets. Wade gives Wanda a master key that was given to him by Tom to free their mother. He runs into the sidelines, waiting to be tagged in. Knuckles relays to Wade that they need to remove the emerald from the exoskeleton's core. Knuckles manages to outmaneuver Willoughby using a spin attack. He rolls behind her and puts her in a hold.
Now, Wade!
Wade rushes to Willoughby and removes the shard from the core. Then Knuckles tosses her aside. Mason starts to get up.
This isn't over yet!
He growls and rushes to continue the fight.
Let's finish this.
Knuckles and Mason throws a punch with their fists colliding. Knuckles was able to see Willoughby's reflection and leaps over Mason and kicks him into her, sending them to the floor.
It's over.
Okay, fine. Fine, you win. Knuckles, you okay?
Wade, stay back.
With his attention turned, Willoughby fires 2 rings to trap Knuckles, but he learned from his last defeat.
Not this time.
Knuckles strikes the rings back, but this causes them to create opposing portals, a feedback loop that sucks anything through the rings repeatedly. Knuckles, Mason, and Willoughby manage to hold on to avoid getting sucked in. Willoughby loses her grip and gets sucked into the portal. Mason's triumph was short-lived when he gets sucked into the portal too, leaving behind his gauntlets. Knuckles struggles to hold on. Right as he loses his grip, Wade jumps in and grabs Knuckles holding onto something. The rings eventually close in and collide, causing them to explode, leaving the former gun agent's fates unknown. Where did they go?
That didn't happen before.
Hey Knuckles, I want to say I'm sorry.
Forget about it, that's not important. Wade Whipple, you must hurry. Your Tournament of Champions is about to conclude.
The tournament? That means...
Yes, your greatest victory still awaits.
But what about the Master Emerald?
I will continue the search on my own. You need to focus on your own mission. The time has come to prove your worth as a champion and a warrior.
You're right. This is it. I would like to have 2 words with your schmuck of a father. Wanda seems unfazed despite knowing that Knuckles is in fact a real alien.
Did I miss something?
I'll explain later. The scene ends with Wanda picking up the leftover ring gun for evidence. The next scene takes place at the beginning of the finals. Pistol Pete makes his grand entrance upon his name being called by the commentators, showing off to his fans. They call upon Wade, but he's nowhere to be seen. Pete's getting impatient, checking his watch, awaiting his son's arrival. Well, Gary, I guess Wade is a no-show. I think so, Dylan. I guess that makes Pistol Pete the winner? Let me check the rulebook. Oh, well, so much for a challenge. Pete holds up the trophy with the crowd cheering. Put that trophy down! Wade finally appears and approaches his father face to face. Surprised to see me? Ah, there you are, son. I see you've taken up my offer. No, Dad. I'm here to win. Now, dear boy. Don't make any rash decisions now. You're only 10 pins away from the most humiliating defeat of your life. I doubt it. I'd say your game's gotten weak over the years. Your costume smells funky. And quite frankly, Your accent sounds fake. Sick burn, baby! You're that insecure that you feel the need to roast me. How sad. Look around, Wade. Have you noticed something? All these lovely people are cheering for me. And the moment you walked in, they had absolutely no bloody idea who the hell you are. I can change that for you, dear boy. So I'm giving you one last chance. If you win, you get to take that trophy home and become the champion. And if I lose, you get to join me, bowling together just like old times. There was a moment of silence. Deal. Be careful, dear father. Wade flicks Pete's top hat. They won't let you forget it. Wade rips off his pants to reveal his athletic shorts and tosses them to his dad. Boy! Let's roll. Everyone in the crowd, including Wade's family, cheers. Even little Susie cheers him on, giving him the encouragement that he needs. We cut to Knuckles on his search for the final emerald shards. He also ran into a couple more mascot suits on the way. This truly is a strange little planet. Knuckles starts to feel hungry and finds a bar. Excuse me, well-dressed woman. Do you have any grapes? Oh, I'm sorry, we don't serve grapes. Okay. Bring me your largest challah bread. There we go. No more distractions. My quest ends now. Just then, a crowd of people start running into the building, as if they're running from something. Whatever it is, it seems like trouble. Speak of the devil. Knuckles rushes outside of the stadium to see a path of destruction down the road. All of a sudden, a speeding blur strikes Knuckles in the face. Knuckles tries to get up, but the mysterious foe swiftly grabs Knuckles and flies up in the air. Once airborne, Knuckles took a roundhouse kick to the head. Knuckles looks up at his attacker as it lowers to the ground. A robot that seems to vaguely resemble Sonic. Knuckles has come face to face with Mecha Sonic, the buyer's newest creation. His appearance is similar to his game counterpart, with the only difference that he's powered by both Sonic and Knuckles' quills. Mecha Sonic was sent by the buyer to steal Knuckles' power in case the agents couldn't do it. Knuckles manages to recover and cracks a smile. I know of a Hedgehog who hits harder than that, and that's nothing to me. Chaos-charged Knuckles puts up his fists, ready to fight. Now this scene will take a parallel approach. Both Wade and Knuckles are facing their foes. Wade and Pete are now down to the final frame. You've got this, Pete. As Pete rolls the ball, Mecha Sonic charges at Knuckles with a spin attack. Knuckles leaps over his attack. The ball hits the pins, but one is still spinning. Mecha Sonic circles around and strikes Knuckles in the back, sending him in the air. The last pin kept wobbling until it stopped. Yes, I love you, Pin! Oh, for heaven's sake! You should pick up that spare, no problem. Knuckles dodges Mecha's attacks and counters them, landing some damaging hits. Pete, of course, gets a spare. At the same time, Mecha Sonic locks Knuckles' arm and punches him in the gut. Knuckles screams in pain. Mecha seizes the opportunity to pin Knuckles against the wall. Unflappable. One of the commentaries asks Wade, does Wade have the strength to finish this fight? Well, do you, dear boy? Are you strong enough to strike down your own father in battle? To do whatever it takes to claim that championship trophy? Or are you just another schmuck with a nickname? Wade the Warrior. Wade stands up to his father's face. I know I'm strong enough, Dad. Because all my life, I've learned from great warriors. I learned from a mother who never stopped fighting for her family. I learned from a sister who was a pain when we were little, but shaped up to be an honest, fearless, headstrong adult. A sheriff who takes care of his hometown and its people, no matter how small it is.
Most of all, I learned from the greatest warrior in the entire galaxy, who taught me that real warriors wouldn't exist if not for those who came before them, showed them the way, and never stopped fighting no matter how hard the battle became. That's why I never would have found my greatest strength, my true power, without my friend, Knuckles, the Echidna.
Pinned to the wall, Knuckles was able to deliver a damaging uppercut to Mecha Sonic's chin. Mecha was sent backwards, skidding on the pavement. Mecha tries to stand up,
but sat down deactivated. Victory is mine. You're not the little boy I knew anymore. You really have grown. Despite everything, I am proud. Wade doesn't respond, keeping the stern expression as Pete sits back on the bench. Give it your all, son. Knuckles stood victorious, cracking his knuckles. Just then, Mechasonic's optic sensor lights up. Using his heel tires, he skids a far distance. So you're ready for round 2, I see. Mechasonic then reveals that he's stolen Knuckles' bag of Master Emerald shards. Knuckles was shocked. How could he not notice? Mechasonic opens his stomach hatch and reveals that he's been holding the final pieces the whole time. The shards start to glow and float towards one another. Mechasonic surrounds his hands around the shards and pushes them together. The Master Emerald has been restored, but at the cost of a disaster. Mechasonic raises the emerald above his head, absorbing its energy. Wade rolls the ball. Knuckles charges a spin dash to stop the transformation. Right as the ball strikes down the pins, Knuckles collides into Mechasonic with a bright flash of light. The light fades, revealing a gold-hued Mechasonic holding back Knuckles' spin attack with his palm. The last pin wobbles. Mechasonic rips the spin ball with both hands. He reels back and throws Knuckles at the stadium wall. Wade watches in anticipation, until finally the pin clatters to the floor. A celebratory cheer fills the alley. Pistol Pete's face turns to shock.
Oh my god, I did it! I won! I'm a champion!
Knuckles? Wade, get your people to safety before they... Super Mechasonic enters the scene, picks up Knuckles, and throws him across the lane, knocking the pins down.
Strike.
The crowd evacuates the stadium as the destruction ensues. Bowling pins and balls flew everywhere. Super Mechasonic takes the fight back outside, and Wade follows.
Wade! Where are you going? To help my friend!
Wade rushes out to back up Knuckles, but he finds him pinned to the ground with Super Mechasonic standing over him. Wade, stay back! Mechasonic grasps Knuckles' head and begins to siphon every ounce of energy from his body into his own. After being drained of his power, Knuckles falls unconscious with no energy left to fight. Mechasonic can feel the energy coursing through his wires and circuits.
I feel perfect.
Knuckles gets tossed towards Wade like a ragdoll. The buyer communicates with Mechasonic through a wireless receiver.
Well done, Mark 1. That creature caused me a lot of trouble. Now return to base.
Mechasonic doesn't respond.
I said return to base. You know I don't deal well with failure, you hunk of junk. Return to base!
Mechasonic punches his ear where the receiver was located, destroying it.
My creator is a stupid human being. All this power, data, and technology, and what does he do with it? He hands it to those who desire meaningless destruction. What a fool. He says that he has an empire, that he could make a perfect world. I could rule my own world.
Okay, so let me explain what's going on here. Mechasonic's code was created before his construction. He wasn't supposed to have free will, but somehow the Master Emerald broke that limitation and allowed him to embrace everything he's learned as a circuit board. The buyer's power-hungry nature, his resentment towards Gun, his specialty with machines. All of these traits are what shaped Mechasonic into who he is now. No matter how much Wade tried, Knuckles wasn't waking up. Wade turns to Super Mecha and bravely stands up to him. You think you're so tough? Being a copy of a certain Hedgehog I know? Dousing yourself in yellow food coloring? You're messing with a deputy here, pal.
Deputy? Ha! Don't make me laugh. You don't even have a weapon.
Well, if I had any right now, I'd take you down. Then, a ring portal opens. Wanda steps out holding the power gauntlets left behind by Mason. Need a hand, little bro? Thanks, sis. But get somewhere safe. I'll take it from here. Wade slams his fist, ready to fight. Alright, Wade. Let's do this.
Very well.
Let's dance! Wade takes a deep breath, remembering his combat training. Mechasonic lunges towards Wade. Wade dodges, not taking an eye off his opponent. Mecha then teleports right in front of Wade to catch him off guard, but Wade was able to react quickly and dodge his hook. He counters with a punch, but it didn't damage him. Mecha smacks Wade to the side, but he was able to recover. Wade's plan here is to buy enough time for Knuckles to wake up. He continues to dodge Mecha's attacks, but the fight sees no end, and every blow he takes gets more fatal. After a blow from Mechasonic, he realizes that fighting hand to hand won't do any good. Then he notices some leftover bowling balls from the destruction.
Let's roll.
Wade starts chucking bowling balls at Mechasonic, holding him off as long as he can. But with every hit he takes, Mechasonic gets more irritated. Quick reminder, by the way, this is the same guy that literally shot at Eggman's Eggmobile in the first movie. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but it feels like a nice callback. But this time, Wade is actually fighting the enemy. As a last resort, Wade tries to reach out to Knuckles. Knuckles, I hope you can hear me. You taught me how to stand up for myself and fight. And we're stronger than ever now. Because we fight together. A warrior's true strength comes from their heart and courage. And your heart has never been bigger. You fight to honor your family. You fight to fulfill your destiny. And now you have something new to fight for. Your friends. Unbeknownst to Wade, an orb of light circles around Knuckles. A spiritual voice calls out to him. Please, don't let the greed get their way. Mechasonic is now fueled with rage, building up all the energy he possesses.
Enough! I've let you live long enough! I'll crush you!
Mechasonic charges at Wade, going for the kill. Just then, Knuckles erupts out of the pavement and strikes Mecha on the chest, knocking the Master Emerald out of him. Mechasonic loses his super form and slams to the ground. Knuckles catches the Master Emerald in mid-air. Upon landing, he stood tall.
This is my destiny!
He raises the emerald, uses it to take away the chaos energy in Mechasonic and return it to himself. Knuckles has regained all of his energy and strength. He hands the Master Emerald to Wade and tells him to protect it. He turns to the battered but still standing Mechasonic.
This ends now.
Knuckles focuses on gathering all the heat in the air. Once reaching maximum heat, he slams his fists, erupting into flames.
The flames of disaster!
Mechasonic prepares himself. Knuckles charges at max speed and strikes Mecha head-on. Mechasonic charges and throws a punch, but his right arm snaps clean off upon colliding with Knuckles' fist. Knuckles strikes with an uppercut. Mechasonic flies up to keep a distance, but Knuckles drills up to follow and a mid-air brawl ensues. After landing a few hits, Knuckles jump kicks off Mechasonic's head, sending him to the ground. Wade fires the glove at a giant ball above the stadium. Knuckles flies up and catches it. After Mechasonic comes to, he looks up and sees Knuckles, throwing the giant ball right at him. He rockets up to catch it, but the force was too strong to hold. Mechasonic crashes to the ground and gets crushed by the ball.
Mechanical Hedgehog destroyed.
As for the ending, we could have an aftermath of the battle. With the police and the ambulance being present, Wanda ended up getting a lead from Mechasonic. Wade cuts ties with his father for good this time, takes a step forward to reconnect with his mom, and he and Knuckles can reflect on their journey. We can also have a post-credit scene where the buyer gets arrested and put into a jail cell, but this jail cell was once jailed Robotniks. We also leave off with this gem of an ending.
Hey Knuckles! How about some new road trip music? I call this mix Knuckles and Wade Warrior Jammers.
What is this amazing song? Could this be? Yes! This is I jam!
And that, everyone, is my treatment for the Knuckles series. Now, like with the last rewrite, it is far from perfect, but it's not supposed to be. It just gives an idea of what I think the Knuckles series should be. Now, a lot of people have been suggesting a Sonic Movie 3 rewrite, but I really hope it doesn't come to that. I just want the story to be good. Hey guys, Future SST here. So I originally wanted to release this video before Sonic Movie 3, so I was hard at work trying to get it out before then. Procrastination got to me, so I wasn't able to finish it beforehand. So I just got back from watching Sonic Movie 3, and it kind of changed my perspective on this debate that I've been having. Like, was the Knuckles series for the fans, or was it simply a, compromised show? Well, after watching the movie, I can firmly say that the Knuckles series just simply wasn't for the fans. At least from episode 3 to 6, there's no denying that. In fact, I think I realized why the Knuckles series feels detached from the films. I don't think the films were sure of what the universe was supposed to be yet. The series was announced right before Sonic Movie 2 alongside Sonic Movie 3. Imagine being tasked to make a movie and a TV series that's supposed to release before the movie. How unfair is that? I can only imagine managing two medias like this is really difficult. I don't know much about the industry, but they have to think when they make decisions like these. The team likely didn't have enough time to properly establish their universe yet. I think that's why we got inconsistencies like Patrick Mac being all goofy and Knuckles' backstory just being plain wrong. If the Shadow spin-off series does happen, I really hope they learn from Knuckles. The series really soured any hope that it had for the Sonic films. But seeing Sonic Movie 3 brought my hopes back again. We all love this franchise so much, and we just don't want it to fail. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you take care. And happy 30th anniversary, Knuckles. Hopefully you'll have your own year one day.
Chest, out the wilderness with the ruggedness. Knock, knock, it's Knuckles, the blow thrower, independent flower, magical emerald holder. Give you the coldest shoulder. My spike goes to boulders. That's why I stay alone. I was born by myself. I don't need a posse. I get it on by myself. Adversaries get shelved.